What is good, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with a discussion video discussing the 2 new cards that got revealed for Dream Mirrors. Now, some of you out there who know this, Dream Mirrors are one of my favorite TCG exclusive decks, and I'm just a huge fan of TCG exclusive decks as is. I have like a bunch of them, and they're just super powerful, such as BA, Cosmo, and all that type of stuff. So I figured we'll just go ahead and discuss these 2 cards, considering I did a video not too long ago discussing what I believed Dream Mirrors needed to be good. So for those who don't know, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Dream Mirrors and give everybody who don't know what they do or what they are, kind of a layout, their design, and what their gimmick is. And if you want to, just go ahead and jump forward in the video to just, if you guys want to hear what these guys' effects are. However, I'm sure you've already, it's been a few days, so you guys probably know what their effects are, but for the most part, Dream Mirror, guys, Dream Mirror is a deck that has a gimmick of light and dark, and the field spell Dream Mirror of Terror and Dream Mirror of Joy. The deck has a kind of a gimmick that kind of shares similar to Cosmo, as it has the ability for the main deck monsters when on field to tribute themselves as a quick effect to tag out from the deck the opposite attribute that they have. So some of the Dream Mirrors, such as the Mara and the Sprite. Mara is the card that allows you to practically search the entire deck if you have the opposite Dream Mirror field spell out. So if you have the light Dream Mirror with the dark field spell, you can use their effects. So already the deck was kind of like hindered from the start, and the field spells aren't exactly super busted. So I mean, like, it's not like the field spells are getting you like super advantageous like cards and stuff like that. You simply need to play them in order to be good. But the field spells do have a mechanic with them that is very interesting. At the end phase of every turn, they can banish themselves to activate the opposite one from the deck, which is extremely good. And I mean, Konami did that is really good. But for the most part, the deck's gimmick is having the field spells out or using their card called Hypnagogia, which Hypnagogia just is the trap card that activates both field spells into your opponent's zone and into your zone. That is something that the Dream Mirrors share, is it just requires the field spell to be in a field zone. It doesn't have to be yours. So that's the gimmick that the deck shares, that it just can tag out into the opposite attribute that they have, which allows you to dodge certain targeting effects. As we've learned from the past, the Cosmos have the ability to practically tag out at will to go from pilot into ship, being very good. And then now the field spells do kind of have some niche interaction. The Terror just allows you to burn your opponent whenever they would special summon, and Dream Mirror of Joy allows your opponent has to target the highest level light monster. The deck consists of 4 main deck monsters, four main deck monsters, not including the one that's up here on the screen. The Sprite and the Mara, the Fiend and the Foe, the Fiend and the Friend, and then the White and Black Knight. The deck, though, has beautiful artwork, and the lore behind the deck has to do with the Greek god of sleep and his children. The deck really just was not good. Very poorly executed, in my opinion, and it just had a very unique design, which kind of drew me to it, and the artwork is just utterly beautiful, but still the deck really kind of struggled. The deck had a non-targeting banishing card that allowed you to recycle the Dream Mirror field spells that banish themselves, and then they had a counter trap that allowed you to negate spell and traps and summons depending on the field spell you had that was up in the field zone. But to kind of just go ahead and jump into it now, let's just go ahead and talk about these cards that are up here right now. So do take note, guys, I'm actually at work, so I don't have like the proper editing equipment to kind of put them up there, so just bear with me as we go through it. So for the main deck monster, we have the card called Oneiros, the Dream Mirror Emissary. So this card is a level 3 light fairy monster with 1,000 attack and 1,000 defense. You can only use this card's name, first and second effect, once per turn each. If there's a Dream Mirror monster on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then you can make this attribute become dark, which allows you to use the fusion spell, which the deck coincidentally got a fusion in its last wave of support. If the Dream Monster, if this card is special summoned by the effect of Dream Mirror monsters, including its own effect, apply these effects simultaneously. If you have Joy on the field, you can return 1 spell or trap your opponent controls to the hand, and if you have Terror on the field, draw 1 card and shuffle 1 card from your hand to the deck. So let me go ahead and give you guys a bit of knowledge about this card. So these cards that they got, after we just read the first one, the cards they got are good. There is no way, if anybody out there tells you these cards are bad, they're totally wrong. The fusion and the effect monster are really good. It's just not what the deck needed. So inherently what this card does is very good. It extends for the deck, and then not only do you get to extend, you get to appropriate an effect that goes with the field spell you have face up, in which cases you're going to have Hypnagogia, which Hypnagogia has both field spells up, so you can use both of these effects. The drawing is actually very nice. Having the ability to draw and put back a card, and it tells you to draw then put back, just allows you to put cards like the Black and White Knight back to the deck. But with that being said, it's overall, like, it's a pretty decent card, in my opinion. But it's not what the deck needed. Just that draw is really good. It's an extender. It can become dark, which allows you to use your Dream Mirror of Chaos, which of course is the the fusion spell, excuse me, that allows you to fusion from either your field or graveyard, depending on which Dream Mirror field spell you have up. So the next card, the fusion card up here, which by the way, the artwork is simply amazing, is Oneiros the Dream Mirror Faking. So it's the first one was Oneiros the Dream Mirror Urkling. So it's definitely, they're making a pun on Fae and Urkling for, I think, elf and mystical folk out there. So it's level 10 Dark Fiend Fusion effect monster, 3000 attack, 3000 defense. This is pretty much the opposite of the light monster. So it just requires two Dream Mirror monsters with different attributes. You can only use this card's second and third effects once per turn each. While face up on the field, this card is also a light attribute, allowing you to like practically have Dream Mirror of Joy's protection effect practically be turned on with it. When a monster effect is negated while Dream Mirror of Terror is in the field zone, quick effect, you can negate that effect. So right off the bat, that's really good. We have a form of immediate interaction that the deck really lacked before. The deck's main form of interaction prior to this was practically tagging out the Sprite into the Mara and then summoning out the Black or White Knight from your hand, which then if you summoned out the White Knight, you would tag the White Knight into the Black Knight to pop a card, along with having set spell and traps like Dream Mirror Fantasy or Dream Mirror Oneiros. So this form of negation is extremely important and extremely good for the deck. I've actually already formulated, I think it's a 3-card combo where you have to open Dream Mirror of Terror, the Sprite, and the Friend, and you can practically make this guy first turn. But by any means, it's not like a tier 1 combo. But the second effect is actually really cool. If this card, if Dream Mirror of Joy is in the field zone, quick effect, you contribute this card to special on 1 Oneiros, the Dream Mirror Urkling, from your extra deck in defense position. So this card has the ability to dodge effects and summon out the Urkling, which the Urkling's effect, I'll have a picture up here on the screen. Its effect is whenever a card is tributed, you get to pop a card. And then when it is destroyed in your possession and sent to the graveyard, it floats out any Dream Mirror monster from your graveyard. So you get to practically cycle back into this guy, which is extremely cool and extremely good. But it just allows you to dodge effects and go into like another card. So like in this similar combo where you're able to, like I just explained to you, the 3 cards, you are going to be able to proc off this effect, and you're going to be able to proc off the tribute effect. So depending on, your entire opening hand, but for the most part, you are going to be able to tag out into this, and that's just super cool and super important, in my opinion. But yeah, so let's go ahead and now talk about the overall card. So is this the only support the deck is getting? I really hope not. I actually hope that Plunder Patrol receives some more support, and I hope that this deck receives like a spell card that brings it all together, because Konami, despite people questioning or criticizing this deck, the deck has received some very good support, considering if you go to the past and look at the support like that Subterra got outside of Guru, the deck really sucked. I mean, let's be honest. No one was playing Subterra until Guru got released, and coincidentally, no one could probably play Dream Mirror until a Guru-like card is released for the deck. But all these cards are steps in the right direction. They're giving the deck more good cards, but not what the deck needs in order to be a contender for the meta. But something you guys should also consider is not every deck has to be a contender for the meta. Some decks can be just for casual play at locals, or for just playing at, having some fun and playing. Now, the deck actually did lose pretty hard to Ash Blossom, Call by the Grave, and Gamma pretty easily. And yes, the Forbidden Limitless kind of removed the Call by the Grave, which is a double-edged sword. With Call by the Grave being gone, you do not have to worry about your monsters being Call by the Grave and then just totally stopping your play while going second. But then hindsight, like on the other side of that blade, you just don't have a Call by the Grave to answer the Ash Blossom that comes at you. Coincidentally, if it really makes me kind of not want to play Dream Mirror of Chaos, which is the fusion spell, because it only allows you to fuse from field or grave. You can't fusion from the hand. I actually believe if you're able to plop the Fae King down really early in your combo, it's actually pretty good. And I might, we might see builds move away from Chaos and try to play more of a super poly, not super poly, but a polymerization-esque type thing. We'll just have to wait and see But for the most part, I'm very happy with the support. I can only hope they get more support. If they don't get more support, I'm going to be fine with it. But like I said, for the most part, very good support in my opinion. Yeah, I really can't complain. All we gotta do is get a dark counterpart to the Emissary, and hopefully they don't slaughter it like they did Foe, because when I predicted what the deck needed previously, I predicted what it needed as Frand, the dog, the good dog, which is the Monster Reborn, being really good, and what the deck actually needed, and then they like totally butchered the Fiend, making it practically a Garnet you have to play in the deck. But I'm really pleased with the support, as I previously said. What do you guys think? Comment down below.